Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Love. My YouTube channel is based on health tips and business. So today we'll be talking about sexually transmitted diseases, to be precise, gonorrhea. So we'll be discussing the topic with my friend here.
Yeah. Hello, guys. My name is Francis. And just as my fellow sister just said, we are going to talk about a very pertinent topic which has been killing our ignorance, which has been killing our health in an ignorant way we don't understand. And that topic is STI, as she just said.
So, sexually transmitted disease is caused by an infection, Neisseria gonorrhea bacterium. It mostly affects the reproductive tracts. For example, the uterus, the urethra, both in men and in women, and the fallopian tube. So, what do you think can be the causes of STD?
Yeah, actually, STD is mainly caused by, as you earlier mentioned. But if we look at our society today, most people are very ignorant. Some of us, we move around with these infections without knowing. And so,
Yeah, so it's true. Most people, they are very ignorant. Maybe some people, you can get infected when you are not even when you don't even know that you are being infected, because these diseases, it incubates in your system for so long before it manifests, before you can see the symptoms. And for example, how can it be transmitted? It can be transmitted from one person to another through sexual intercourse, especially unprotected sex. If the other partner is being infected and the other one is not infected, and when you guys have sexual intercourse, the other person will be infected. And through oral sex, anal sex, you can be infected. So what do you think are the symptoms of gonorrhea? Some of the symptoms of gonorrhea: you have pain and creamy discharge from your vagina. You have heavy periods and spotting in bleeding. What do I mean by spotting? Spotting is when you're menstruating, you discover that the thing can just come, like it can just spot
abnormal menstruation.
abnormally. It can just spot, and then after a while you will not be bleeding. After a while you just see a little bit of blood.
And just to add to what she's telling us this moment, this infection does exist in a different way with the male. With the male, they have a very short span to discover that they are infected. How as a man, do you know you are infected with this STI? Now we are talking about gonorrhea. You find a person going to pass out urine. There's difficulty, really difficulty in pushing out the urine, because the infection is already at the level of the infection is already destroying the reproductive organ of that man,
Exactly.
of that male. And so the person now, when now the infection has grown to the bacteria has grown to a certain level, you find the person trying to urinate with some difficulties. So when you are that kind of a person who has this experience, you are going through gonorrhea. And with men, it is very possible with some men, immediately after unsafe sex, they will realize the pain. They will realize slight pain between that moment and 3 days.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, with women, it can take up to an incubation period of 6 months.
6 months
before a woman can discover that she is having the infection gonorrhea.
And also, some of the symptoms you can have, you discover that you have a lower abdominal pain, then rectal bleeding too, then pain during sex. So as a woman, when you discover these signs and symptoms early, you need to go in for a lab test, because if you don't go in for a lab test and it's being treated properly or earlier, you can have women infertility. It's very normal. You can have infertility, or as a result of poorly treatment or not treated, it can result to PID, that is pelvic inflammatory disease, which for a woman is not good.
Yeah, guys, and to say more on elaboratively on this, what she's trying to tell us, our main aim or our objective of this is mainly for us who are out here, the way we are living our lives. We have to take a lot of precautions, because with the women, you realize that, as she mentioned some of the signs and symptoms, if they are not properly treated, if these signs and symptoms are not properly dealt with, they'll start experiencing damage in their fallopian tube.
Yeah.
Because the fallopian tube is what brings the reproductive system, what promotes the reproductive system. Now, if the fallopian tube is not functional, you realize that the woman, no way. And then also she talked about the urethral tract infection, what did you say again?
That it affect the reproductive system, like
the birth canal. It can affect the birth canal of a woman.
Yeah.
Because at the level of the womb, the womb, we call it the uterus. The uterus is where after reproduction has taken place at the level of fallopian tube, implantation now, the child goes now into, after some period of time, the child now is pushed right into the uterus. Now, in the uterus, you realize that if the uterus is not comfortable for the child, there will always be frequent miscarriage. Because the bacteria there is not properly treated. Until when the bacteria is properly treated, that is when this lady, you can be able to conceive and have your baby without a problem. But if it is not properly treated, as well as the men, what happens with the men? If this infection is not properly treated in a man, you realize, first of all, that the man will surely get what we call sexual weakness. The man will experience sexual weakness. There will be poor erection. Most men today, they go through this because of this infection. And it is because they don't properly treat it. They don't properly treat it. You see, you find somebody who's having gonorrhea, he will go to a side pharmacy and just take some antibiotics for 5 days or for 3 days. Once that there is that resistance, because when the person will take this, and then the infection will make as if it is calm, and then you feel like you are okay. Meanwhile, you are not okay. What you are causing is resistance. So it is probably, we are here to advise us. When you are into this situation, go to the hospital so that the hospital will be able to diagnose it out in the laboratory research. And what you do, so that when they will diagnose, they will tell you the proper treatment, the line of treatment that you have to take. If not, you will continue to be experiencing all these symptoms. And then the symptoms will bring a lot of consequences, because even in some marital homes, there's always marriage dispute. A man will always accuse the woman, you are not reproductive. You don't want to give me a child. You are responsible for your infertility. Meanwhile, at times, we men, we neglect ourselves. Because ask yourself, that is why we are here today to advise that if there are cases like this, if you experience it, don't be ashamed, don't be shy. Go to the hospital, take proper treatment. If your wife is not able to conceive, both of you go to the hospital. Probably they may see some bacteria at the level of the reproductive organ. And then when it is properly treated, now there can be that process of conception.
And also multiple sex partners also. You can get it because you can be with someone, you think that you are with that person is having another person somewhere, that the person will go and get infected and come and give you the sickness. So abstinence is the best thing. Abstinence, you abstain from unprotected, you abstain from sex. Or even if you're having a partner, maybe you're not married, you're having a partner, you should protect yourself. You should protect yourself. You should not go in for unprotected sex, because these things are not written on our faces. It is not written. You can just get infected. This oral sex, then maybe somebody can tell you that no, I need to do, but oral sex, I need this, I need that. No, it is not good. It's in the long run that you discover that it's a bad thing. So we need to be very careful with ourselves, especially for women, because women are so exposed to so many things, so many things that a man will discover 3 days to 3 days to 2 to 3 days that you're being infected. But for us women, you can discover that you are being infected for 6 months.
Yeah.